Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Corner Booth podcast. I am your host, Mr. Jared Klim. I am still dealing with a voice issue because, God forbid, I never get a full night's sleep in my house. But also, screaming at the top of my lungs because of the game yesterday kind of brings that into perspective, I guess. But I'm very blessed, very happy. It was a very interesting day yesterday. We got a lot to talk about. Me and the boys are here, obviously. Joining us in the background, of course, is producer Big Bad Nate.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going, boss?
I'm good. Honestly, voice is like 80%. It gets raspy from time to time, but honestly, I'm kind of living with it. Like my boy Gilly right now, just raspy as hell.
I will, we'll obviously talk about it, but first off, congrats to you, boss. Congrats to your team.
Thank you.
Hell of a game. Hell of a game, boss.
Yeah, definitely stressed me out for about the first 3 quarters, and then
I would say so, yeah. And then I think,
listen, it was only due respect to the Commanders. That was that was the scare.
I feel like you were stress free completely once Shipley scored, because that's when you knew.
Nope.
No, before that.
Third Jalen Hurts running was when I
Okay.
started sinking in. But
Got it.
also joining us is my co-host. He's an honorary Eagles fan for the next 2 weeks. He's already documented it. And of course, very optimistic Jets fan due to Aaron Glenn's much better entry press conference than Liam Cohen. So at least he's got that going for him. You won the day, Matt. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Rodazzo.
Duval. That was so bad.
That was terrible by him, man.
I've watched it like 20 times. I can't just stop watching it. It was bad.
Who told him? I mean, somebody had to tell him after, like, brother, yeah, it is not a look for you, man.
Did you see his smile? He was like, yeah, we did it. And I was like, no, we did not.
He almost looked like a cartoon character you just brought to life. Like, he just didn't look real. I don't know.
Frosty the Snowman, happy birthday, Duval!
Dude, I couldn't. If I am a Jaguars fan, the level of just buzzkill that I have just experienced after watching that, I would have probably turned the rest of his conference off. Like, after hearing Duval, I would have been like, nope.
To be fair, Nick Sirianni's intro press conference was
That's fair. Yeah, at least, I mean, yeah.
Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that's fair, but I don't know. I think this was pretty bad. Just that opening compared to like Sirianni was just nervous. You could just tell he was just nervous. I didn't really take it in a different way because it's just not everybody can do public speaking.
Yeah,
he's gotten better, but like that was bad.
That was very bad.
I'm ready to run through a brick wall for Aaron Glenn. Sir, yes, sir. Just tell me where and I'll.
Oh, I am too. I'm a fan already. I'm a fan. I mean, I've been a fan of his since him and Deuce Staley used to get into it back on Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
but cool. I think that he is the evolution of what Robert Saleh was trying to be.
Yeah, he I don't know. I mean, I can't speak from experience. I wasn't in the building, but just Robert Saleh seemed like a kind of guy that was a big guy that preached about a lot of things, but I just don't know if he was really backing up what he was preaching. Aaron Glenn seems to have a plan for everything he's talking about. I liked everything he laid out. He just talked about everything. He talked about there's no accountability without responsibility. He talked about practicing what you preach. Obviously team mentality. He talked about what he wants in a quarterback. I loved that he kept deferring the Aaron Rodgers comments. This feels like a regime that maybe isn't going to just cater to this one guy. I know he's a great quarterback. I know he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I know he's won the MVP like 4 times. I know he's a Super Bowl champion, first ballot. But it's nice to hear somebody say he is one person. There's like 50-something other guys that we have to evaluate as well. And I liked when he said he was going to get a decision out of that one way or another sooner than later and not dragging it out. Talked about his time with the Saints, learning when he got to the Saints as a defensive back coach. That was when they won the Super Bowl. So he knows what it takes to get to the Super Bowl. He talked about sustainable winning. He learned under Peyton. He talked about how he, brought that, not like he brought it, but they had that in Detroit. This is a guy that has been coaching for a while, who's the second greatest cornerback in Jets history behind Revis. And he knows what it takes to win. He knows about sustainable winning, and that's something nobody has ever brought to the Jets. He has that experience, and he talked about bringing that to the Jets. There's going to be some bumps. There's going to be some obstacles that they got to get over. It's not going to be pretty right away. But I really think, just from listening to what he was saying and listening to what Darren Moogie was saying, I think they got their guy. And listen, if he brings sustainable winning to the Jets, man, you are just right in place to get a statue outside the building.
Nice. Honest to God opinion, generally coaches, when they give me an optimistic vibe, but I'm not like sold, it's a good fit. I'm getting a Sirianni, Doug Peterson, Bruce Arians down in Tampa, Sean McVay in LA. I'm getting a good vibe. Like you guys might have finally found your guy. That's the vibe I'm getting. Liam Cohen kind of reminded me of old crazy eyes himself. Adam Gase. All right.
And they had a graphic that they posted, and it was a picture of Rex, Bowles, Saleh, Glenn, and Saleh and Gase, just in a 4-way picture and a graphic, just of their first time at their press conference, and just looking at all those cast of characters, but Gase with the eyes. I'll never not be able to get over that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm on headlines, but we gotta talk about the elephant in the room because I want to start off with this. I want to give a shout out to my boy Frank Michael Smith, by the way. Do you not check out his content on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram? Go check it out. He's a friend of the show. He's come on multiple times. I had a text back and forth with him today because he had a video talking about if you are complaining about the referee still, you are missing the point of the game. And he is completely on point. So we're starting a new segment today. It's going to start the offseason. Jared's opening rant. The title of today's rant is I'm sorry, Bills fans. I am sorry you have one of the most talented quarterbacks I've ever seen in Josh Allen. Not only is his taste in women phenomenal, his talent on the field is incredible. I am sorry you have a very talented roster and you still lost. I'm sorry you have an absolute strategic doofus for head coach and lost. I'm not a big Sean McDermott fan. I know from experience, he was my defense coordinator in Philadelphia for 4 years. Never was impressed. The guy who trained him is the one who owns him in the playoffs. That'd be Andy Reid, Big Red. Arguably the greatest offensive coach to ever live. I was sitting there watching the game. I came downstairs, chatting with my mom for a little bit. She's watching the game down there. I was watching upstairs, shooting the crap on Discord with a bunch of my friends. We were watching together. And I was on cloud nine for obvious reasons. But I sat there and I watched the last clinching drive, the throw to Pacheco, throw to Pirine. Same play, flip sides. My mother even spotted that. She watches football 10 times a year. 90% of them are Eagles games. She's an Eagles fan, but she's not like crazy about watching the games. Usually she's working Sundays. When she does come home, she's rather just watch the highlights. She saw the play coming before it happened. Bootleg left, bootleg right. Little RPO action, dump it off in the flat, first down. We also have to talk about the elephant in the room. Yes. Was that Xavier Worthy a catch? It was not. Honestly, I thought it was more of an interception than a catch, but it also hit the ground. 2, Travis Kelce should be thrown for taunting. I hope he does it to Jalen Carter in the Super Bowl because Jalen Carter will snap her mouth like a twig. You might be able to punk the Bills there, Travis. The Eagles team doesn't have your brother anymore. They don't have to give you a pass. They want your head in the stick. Second of all, last but not least, is the infamous Josh Allen's over the line. He was. But there is a quote by Jimmy Johnson I wanted to let you guys know. If you leave it up to the refs, you will lose. Paraphrasing, obviously. Nate, if you could find that quote from Jimmy Johnson about his loss to Notre Dame, that'd be great. It's from you, part 1, I believe. If you can find the quote, don't play the clip, but put the quote in the chat. Let me see if you can find it. There's also a quote from Remember the Titans, the greatest football movie of all time. Leave no doubt. The Bills left doubt. They were the far superior team talent-wise to the Kansas City Chiefs. They had the superior quarterback, at least current how he was playing. The better running back. The better receiving credits is the coin flip. They had arguably a better defense. They had the momentum. They had the lead. Why are you going for a tush push when it's not your specialty? Run the ball with James Cook. Run a speed option with him and Allen. Spread them out 5 wide and make them either cover or pack the box. Use your strengths. You are not the Eagles. Your quarterback doesn't squat 600 pounds and doesn't run like Bo Jackson when he's going downhill. Your quarterback is a 6'6" freak of nature with a howitzer on his shoulder and runs like Mose from The Office, but is faster than 90% of the quarterbacks on the planet. Use your strengths. That was my biggest thing. Bills fans, you shouldn't even have been in that position. You should have been up by at least a score or two. You start slow. That's fine. We know that better than anybody. I don't want to hear it. If you don't want the refs to be involved, leave no doubt. You guys saw my clip on Instagram. Shout out to our boy Nate for putting that together. I said on Thursday, I don't want the Eagles to play with their food anymore. Because when you play with your food, you keep them in the game, bad things happen. Happened the entire end of the stretch last year for Philadelphia. I saw it happen with Tampa Bay against Washington. When you let teams stay in the game, that's where you lose. Philadelphia didn't keep Washington in the game. That was the definition of belt to ass, straight up. I'm in my main room with my parents and some other family members, sitting there watching the game. After that third Jalen Hurts run, I'm like this. Belt. I'm making the motion. I'm yelling, screaming, yelling belt to ass. My dad's laughing. My mom's laughing. And all my family, they're all giggling a little bit. Because that's how you got to win in the playoffs if you don't want to lead down. Because referees are humans. They will make calls. Do I like referees? No. Never met a referee I liked. Actually, no, there was one, a basketball ref named Ernie, but also he was the one who ejected me the most. I was kind of a Draymond Green type of player. Anyway, the final part of this rant starts off like this. If you want to come at the king, you best come correctly and you best beat them. If you leave it up to the referees, you will not have the best chance, especially against the Chiefs. And at the end of the day, the Bills are a very talented roster. They are a very good team. And it sucks because Josh Allen made all the plays he had to make, except for the one that mattered. They shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. You can complain all you want about the referees, but at the end of the day, the game is still dictated by your play calling. If you leave doubts, you could lose. So to Buffalo, I'm sorry. You lost. I wanted you guys to go. You know why? Because the second the clock hit 0, or actually, let's be honest, the second Saquon ran in his third touchdown and they started pulling starters, I was like, who are you going to play? I was rooting for Buffalo the entire time. I really was. But I'd feel really bad rooting against the Bills team that's lost 4 Super Bowls, has a great guy like Josh Allen, characters like Greg Rousseau, shout out, James Cook, and the rest of them. But we get the villain instead. We get the Chiefs. At the end of the show, I'm going to tell you guys why. Forget it, I'll tell you now. I will tell you right now why you should vote. You should be rooting for the Eagles if you are not a Chiefs fan. It's very simple, actually. Why would you want to see a whole nother year of Patrick Mahomes this, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift that? It's the same antics. You shouldn't be allowed to get away with this. Sometimes you need a bully to beat a bully. Chiefs are a bully. That's what they are. They flop. They flaunt that they can get away with anything in your face. You know how you beat a team like that? You do what the 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers did. You play smart football, you run the football, and you rush the hell out of Mahomes with 4. Oh, that's all things that Philadelphia can do? Oh. So listen, you don't have to like us as Eagles fans or like the team we root for. I understand that. We're not great sometimes. Hell, a guy literally shot off a gun up into the air like it was a 21-gun salute in the middle of Broad Street yesterday. Yeah, guy fell off poles. People were climbing poles. People were driving through this place. It was crazy. It's typical Philadelphia. But another Eagles Super Bowl is just going to be a lot of memes. A lot of me being happy, smart, sharing Eagles memes, rubbing it in to people who said it hurts we never win a Super Bowl. That's what you're going to get if we win. Do you really want to do with another Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl win? I don't. And for the record, last year was 2 of the 3 teams I hate the most in football played each other in the Super Bowl. All was missing was either the Commanders or the Cowboys instead of the Niners, because the 49ers are number 3 on that list. Chiefs are number 2. So I toughed it out. It's good football. It's a good game. Went to overtime. For all who's saying is the worst, I'm boycotting the Super Bowl. You're the worst type of football fan. Your team didn't make it. Oh, how about you want to see the three-peat thwarted? Dude, I watched Giants Patriots when I was a kid. Hated every minute of it, but I rooted for the Giants. You know why? Because, God, I did not want to see Tom Brady win another one. Had a lot of respect for Brady, but I did not want him to win another one. Oh, yeah, and by the way, Eagles know a little something about knocking a dynasty off its peg a little bit. Just ask Nick Foles about that. So, that's my rant. Went 6 minutes. Actually, isn't bad. Only had one slip up. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, we'll talk about the actual games. I want to get your guys' opinion on everything. We'll start off. Belt to ass.
I forgot this was like a 5 possession until I saw the score. I forgot you guys won by 5 possessions. I think so. Maybe 4 possessions, but still.
32 points.
Look at me taking the 6.5 on the Commanders. $5, so it's okay. But man,
why? I could have told you that was a bad idea, and that wasn't even fan bias. See, here's my vibe, and I'll explain this to you quickly. I knew we were gonna win. I had a gut feeling. The second Saquon got past the 5 yards into that run, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be on us to hold the score, but man, we can do it.
Well, we just had that whole thing last show about how the Eagles, it's not always a pretty flashy win, but they do just enough to win. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take the 6.5 because they're going to do just enough to win. And here we go, being flashy and running it up.
I'm telling you.
It's all because I put the money down.
No, it's because those idiots tried to take over the Hard Rock Cafe and the Rocky statue. When are they going to learn? The Giants didn't learn twice, 2015 and in 2022. The Patriots didn't learn. Patriots are actually the only team who's been affected by this curse who didn't get blown out. So, Brady effect. The Niners didn't learn. And the Vikings definitely didn't learn. So what made you think the Commanders, the underdog, were going to, get the
me being a Jets fan, I love the underdogs.
Oh, I know. Listen, we coined the whole underdog Super Bowl. Backup quarterback. Listen, I love it. But there's underdogs, and then there's
the dogs.
Not a shot. And here's the problem, and this is something I got to complain about. I got to give a shout out to Pat McAfee tonight. Nate, you can clip this one. Timestamp 19 minutes, 13 seconds. I got to give a shout out to Pat McAfee. You know why? Because I watched Good Morning Football. I scrolled through TikTok last night. I watched a little Breakfast Ball on FS1. I finally made some McAfee around noon while I was on the elliptical doing my hour-long Zone 2 run because I'm trying not to kill my throat before I go on the air. When I run, my voice gets a little raspy because there's a lot of oxygen, dry air, all that crap. I don't need to explain it. Trying to let my voice you. McAfee was the only one who actually was positive about the Eagles win and about how the Commanders played. I didn't hear, it was just the turnovers. I heard this one guy on TikTok in Tico. I like his content. If I stay there for the Eagles hate, dude, he goes, the only reason the Eagles won is because the Commanders turned the ball over 5 times. Yeah, or 4 times. Yeah, but We also scored touchdowns on every single one of them. Oh, and we sacked Jaden Daniels, I think, 4 times. Oh, Brian Robinson ran for under 30 yards total. But yeah, no, it was just the turnovers. Got it. Also 230 passing yards and 229 rushing yards. Very balanced. Yes, Nate. Most balanced you could be possible. Shout out to Nate for that stat. I just don't. I'm just sick of it. So Pat and the boys just gave props. Pat, we love you on the show. Thank you for being an inspiration to us. You're the reason this show is still going because I was ready to call it quits during COVID. Just wanted to give that shout out to Pat. To the Eagles. That was great. Everything from Jalen Carter smacking a dude so hard in the helmet he knocked him over. Saquon Barkley just doing whatever the hell he wanted once he got past the line of scrimmage. Jalen Hurts looked magnificent. 20-28. 230 yards passing. Touchdown to A.J. Brown. 3 rushing touchdowns. That's just good. Phenomenal. Oh, but I thought, they win in spite of Hurts. No, stop it. Jalen Hurts looked great. A.J. Brown looked great. He was punking Marshawn Lattimore all day. Guy's a punk. My dad even was like, who the hell is this Lattimore guy? I'm like, oh, I got some video to show you. We're showing him all him and the Mike Evans fights. My dad's like, Lord. So, I will digress after this, and let Matt and Nate take over. But all I will say is this. This Eagles team came to play in every facet. The pass rush with Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter all came to play. Linebackers, Bond and Burks, both forced fumbles. The corners, Slay only got smoked once, and listen, Scary Terry. He's a top 10 receiver in the league. What are you going to do? Zach Ertz was butchering us, which led to a lot of angry rants on how much I hate Zach Ertz. But Reed Blankenship, Coop, of course, Quinion, all played great. Special teams is great. Will Shipley, the third member of Exciting Whites, played great. All on the 5-year anniversary of the death of this man. So, in honor of Kobe, they got the dub. So, that was my reaction. I'm going to take a couple days after the show today to let things gestate. Monday, I'm going to come out like a bat out of hell, ready to just get after Super Bowl week. Oh, by the way, folks, surprise, no show Thursday. Give my voice a chance to rest. Give the boys some time off. There's unless something breaks that's crazy huge, we always take one show off between the Super Bowl. So we're gonna take Thursday off. Allow you guys to get a little breather. We'll be back Monday to kick off the Super Bowl coverage. Obviously, Thursday is the big kahuna. And the following Thursday, I think it's February 4th, I believe. No, February 5th. February 5th, the big kahuna. That's our show. So, looking forward to that. Maddie, now as an honorary Eagles fan, your thoughts on the game yesterday?
As an honorary Eagles fly. What was it the lady said?
ELGSES.
Oh, man. She was the mayor or the governor? What was she? Oh, man.
Mayor.
You got to be able to spell the Eagles if you're going to be a mayor in that town. First of all, I got to give my props to the Commanders. I mean, this was a team that a lot of us, definitely myself, but a lot of us had them maybe going 7 wins. Maybe it was going to be a season where it was the same old Commanders, 7 wins team, new coach kind of thing, rookie quarterback, finding their ways. They went 12-5. They beat the Bucks. They beat the Lions. They made it to the NFC Championship. This was kind of like maybe last year's kind of Lions team where I think we all expected the Lions to be good, but we weren't. I mean, I don't think you knew.
Perfect analogy. Perfect.
You didn't know early on that they were going to be a contender until you kind of started to get halfway through the year, because they started off a little rough and then they picked it up. But the Commanders were great. Jane Daniels looks like he might be the future for that team, so I got to just tip my hat to them. Great season. Great quarterback with Jaden Daniels. Future's bright. Just build up on it. I mean, look what they did with what they had. I mean, Ryan Robinson and Austin Eckler are not bad running backs, but you've got an aging 35-year-old tight end as your tight end one. I assume he's 35. I know he's in his mid-30s. Zach
30s.
Ertz.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah, so you got an aging tight end one. You've got a bunch of young receivers with Terry McLaurin, but Terry McLaurin, outside of Terry McLaurin, you're really playing with a bunch of 3s, 4s. Jamison Crowder was even getting involved. That was a first-round pick by them like 10 years ago. So, and the defense is rough. It's banged up. It's not elite. It's not top 15. It's a rough defense. It's probably towards the bottom 10. But they still found a way to get to this far. And I got to just say congrats to that team that you achieved a lot this year, a lot more than all of us thought. So, you guys are going to be set up for the future. Now to the Eagles. Now to my 2-week temporary. I'm rooting for you.
How's your wife feel about this?
Oh, I told you she likes the Eagles. She actually enjoys. My wife is a Giants fan, but my wife likes chaos. My wife enjoys violence, and that's the Eagles fan base. Violence, chaos. She likes.
Am I still her favorite Eagle fan?
I mean, I would have to say yes because I don't know many Eagles fans. We don't know many Eagles fans.
Isn't one of your buddies an Eagles fan too?
Oh yeah, he's harmless though. You're more rowdy, but she likes the chaos. She likes the mess. She likes the violence. So she likes Eagles for that. She definitely hates the Cowboys, and I think she just finds the Commanders annoying. So she's rooting for the Eagles. She does not want the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. But one thing I want to say about the Eagles. We talked about it last week where the analogy or the analysis was, the Eagles are going to go as far as the defense and Saquon takes them, and we talked about how. I think a lot of people forget Jalen Hurts can be that guy. He doesn't have to be the guy this year because Saquon is having the year he's having. The defense is just the best defense. He doesn't have to go out and be the top 5 quarterback, but he can be. And this past game, he showed that he can still put the team on the back and they can win because of him. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. He had 230 passing yards for another touchdown. He had 4 total touchdowns in that game. A big reason why they won was those 4 touchdowns. You take those 4 touchdowns away, it's a different game. But my point is that he showed the world, hey, don't forget, I'm still Jalen Hurts and I can still put this team on my back if need be. And that's dangerous going against the Chiefs, because the main focus is trying to pick apart that defense and stop Saquon Barkley. But Jalen Hurts just showed you, hey, I can get it done too. So now you got to worry about me. So they've got 2 guys they got to bottle up. They got to negate the scrambling with Jalen Hurts. They got to keep him within the pocket, keep him throwing that ball, and they got to stop Saquon Barkley from getting over 100 yards. And I don't think any of that is going to happen. Nobody has been able to do it. So it's exciting. I'm excited for this matchup. But there's just no way to put it. This was a bona fide, as the old school WWE announcers would say, this is a bona fide, old-fashioned slobber knocker right here. This was just a beat down. This was, like Jared said, belt to ass whooping. The Eagles, 4+ possessions, won this game. There's no way to put it. The Commanders had a great year. The Eagles had a better year. And the Eagles are going to their 2nd Super Bowl in the last 5-6 years. The Eagles may not be a franchise that has a decorated history of Super Bowl titles, but this is a franchise, a unique franchise that just has a winning culture. They win games. They get to the big games. They know what they need to do to get there. They may not have 5 or 6 trophies in their case, but Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman, maybe I would say maybe the best owner GM combo in modern day NFL. I got to put it next to Reed and Hunt. But this is just a franchise that
don't forget Brent Veach. He's a Chiefs GM who's been on fire.
Yeah, this is a special franchise that's going for their 2nd Super Bowl in 5 years, and I hope they get it.
I'm with you, Nate. What's your opinion?
I think, Jared, you know this about me and Matt, you too, right? Being a Giants fan, it's tough seeing teams like the Eagles and Commanders succeed and everything like that. And the average Giants fan would be like, "No, I hate the Eagles. I never hated a team. Even the teams in the division. Do I hate losing to them? Yes, but I never hated a team per se. So when Philly came out the way they did, I was really happy. I mean, Saquon Barkley scored in the first freaking play or first carry, I believe, that he got. Like, that made me happy because I was like, damn, he used to play so many years for us, and now he's having success, and he deserves it. You guys, like Matt mentioned, and you too as well, Jared, you guys whooped him. I mean, it was no contest. I know you were stressed out, I'm sure, Jared, for most of the game, but once that end of the third quarter, heading to the fourth,
Yeah,
happened,
I
it was.
appreciate you not checking up on me until the end of the game.
I know. I think Matt told me right on Thursday show just to kind of just wait to the end, and that's why when I called you and
I'm
stuff.
a very, very cautious person. I do not celebrate until there's no chance.
I totally understand. I get it. But I mean, look, I hate to do it, but I will also put my hat into the or put my name into the hat, as I will also be rooting for the Eagles. This Super Bowl. I don't want to see a three-peat, and the Eagles the Eagles are my last hope to not see that happen. And I think, like Matt mentioned with Lurie, he's been an excellent guy, helping build this team. Sirianni, even though he has caused some headaches in the media and kind of irritated me sometimes with his actions, he's been a great coach. I mean, shouting out Jalen Hurts yesterday as well during the post-game celebration. That was cool to see. And how about Jalen Hurts smiling, a little bit? I saw a little smile when he
I
was
saw
on
him
the.
smile. I saw him walking around with his
Yeah,
fiance,
he was
big
happy.
cheesy grin, hugging
Yeah.
Saquon and AJ.
He was so happy, man. I was speaking, shout out to AJ Brown. Ever since he got traded to you guys, he's had more Super Bowl appearances than Treylon Burks has touchdowns. Fun fact there.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
funny story. But overall,
Oh,
it was a great game, balanced offense. 230 passing yards, 229 in rushing yards. Overall, this is the best game we've seen from the Eagles this postseason by far. Hopefully, they can do the same against the Chiefs. I think they can. This running game is absolutely phenomenal. Saquon's been great. Hurts was phenomenal through the air and with his legs as well. And how about Will Shipley yesterday as well too, scoring his first career
the
NFL
third
touchdown? That
member
was
of
hard.
Exciting Weights.
I remember the three. I don't know. I can't think of anything like right now, but I was
He's the
gonna say Three
Riesling.
Musketeers. There you
He's the
go.
Riesling of the group.
But overall, great game by the Eagles, man. And yeah, shout out to the Commanders as well. Great season by Jaden Daniels. Arguably, I'm pretty sure rookie of the year on the offensive side of the ball. Great season for them. They have a bright future ahead
Perfect
for them.
transition, Nathan. Perfect transition. Because I was going to say, what's next for the Commanders?
That's right.
Y'all's future is bright, man. I mean, listen, you got to retool that defense. Like Matt said, you got to pick up some pieces, but you got an A-plus quarterback. He is something different. Now, I hope he gets dealt to different teams. I actually can root for him without hurting myself a little bit. But I'm going to give credit where credit is due, man. He is a different breed. He's a hell of a player. They keep him healthy, keep Dan Snyder away and Mike Shanahan away from him. He'll actually last.
Yeah.
That was a little nod to RG3 there. But yeah, dude, I'm telling you. Hell of a rookie season, man. Congrats, Jaden. Well deserved, great player. But yeah, Washington, all I can say is just I know it sucks, but I was in this position in 2021 getting smoked by the Buccaneers. Keep your head up. It's gonna be better. So other than that, I already kind of dug into this game a little bit, but then we'll kind of get into the other headlines. We'll get out of here. It's going to be a quicker show today because there's only so much you can talk about. But Chiefs Bills. Got to give Josh Allen credit. He played great. But 5-2, I think, against the Chiefs in the regular season. And 0-4 against them in the playoffs. Sucks, man.
That's it.
I think Matt made a great point in the conversation we had yesterday off air. He said that we should kind of consider Josh Allen in the conversation with Lamar Jackson in terms of choking in the playoffs, right? Matt, is that what you said to us yesterday?
Pretty much not getting the job done, choking, not being able to win the big games. I mean, I think at this point you got to put Lamar on. How many MVPs does Josh Allen have, and how many does Lamar have? I think you got to talk about Lamar might be a little higher on that pedestal. I know Josh, big arm, very athletic. He can do a lot more than Lamar.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Where these accolades at? If he could have gotten to the Super Bowl, could have wiped that all away.
I'm telling you right now, this loss is not on Josh Allen. The last loss was, yes. The last one last year, that was on Josh Allen. 2022, with the 16 seconds left or whatever, that one in 2021. Josh Allen has had losses, but listen, this one is not on him.
No, it's not. But
so listen, yes, listen. I put him above Lamar for two reasons. One, you never go into a game with Josh Allen. He single-handedly got some of them out of some of those games, man. I'm not going to lie. Besides James Cook, there's a lot of ifs on that offense. There's no ifs on Lamar's offense. Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. Oh, and, the emergence of Rashad Bateman. Justice Hill, even Keaton Mitchell. Like, there's weapons everywhere. Yeah, like, listen, Amari Cooper was not the same player they thought they were going to get at him. I think he's washed. Keon Coleman's great for a rookie. He's going to get better. Khalil Shakir and Curtis Samuel are good in and out. The only real legit weapon he has is James Cook. Certified grade A weapon is James Cook, who's probably a top 10 running back. I don't consider Kincaid a top 10 tight end. I think Dawson Knox outplayed him yesterday. So I'm not saying it's an excuse for Josh, but I'm not ready to put him in Lamar's category. Lamar's his own little offshoot because they've given Lamar everything. They have. Josh, they haven't yet. And also, this is my last point. I hate to be part of this. They will never win. They will never beat the Chiefs with Sean McDermott. They won't. I'm going to tell you right now. They looked like they were, and I'm going to say this should have been part of my rant. Guys, how many times have I said, when you play the best team in the league, if you do not go after them and play your game, whether that's against the Eagles, when they play the Patriots, the Giants when they play the Patriots, or the Bucs when they play the Chiefs, you're not winning. Because once they're in your head, you get off your game plan, you will lose. Philadelphia should have beaten Kansas City 2 years ago. What happened? They stopped playing their game. They stopped being aggressive. They let a turnover get in their heads. They stopped making adjustments on defense. And lo and behold, they blew a 11-point lead and lost on a field goal. Last year, the 49ers were up by 10. Same thing. You gotta play your game or you will not beat the best teams. Stick to your own game plan. That is how you will win. I cannot reiterate this enough. If there's anything to take away from this show, it is this. Philadelphia Eagles. Show the world how it's done. Stick to your game plan. Play your game. And force Kansas City to come to your level. That is how you will win. It's how you won in 2017. It's how the Bucs won in 2020. It's how the Giants won in 2011 and 2007. When you go for the champs, you stick to your game plan. Mike Tyson always said, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth, but the good teams stay on course, even after a minor hiccup or speed bump. That's what separates champions from guys who are complaining about the referees. It's what it is. So Buffalo got away from their game plan. They did not allow Josh Allen to use his strengths. What the hell was even that fourth down play? I don't know. That was the dumbest play call I ever seen. The Chiefs were ready for it. What are you going to do? That's what separates the win. That's what separates champions from guys who finish in third every year. That's all I got.
If I were to start up a franchise right now and I had to choose between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, I would take Josh Allen.
Okay.
I would take Josh Allen. What I'm getting at is when you get into January, now Lamar makes mistakes early and usually makes up for it at the end. Josh Allen usually usually if they lose a playoff game, it's really not because of him. It's just the fact of the matter is that they both can get to the AFC Championship game and nobody can get past the Chiefs. Nobody can get past it in general. The only way I think any of them are going to make it to the Super Bowl is if the Chiefs get knocked out before they got to play them.
Yeah.
So you got two guys. One's got a couple MVPs, the other one doesn't, but you got two guys that just don't get it done in January. That's where I'm getting at. But besides all that, listen, this was a great game. It wasn't insanely high scoring, like 32-29. It's a high scoring game, but it wasn't like, 55-28 or 23 or whatever it was. But like, this was a great game. Now, the Chiefs, as always, were very prepared. The Chiefs are a team that you have to beat them by doing things differently. You can't keep doing, unless you're the only team that can do the same thing over and over again and never have to worry about it not working, is the tush push or the brotherly shove with the Eagles. It just works. It doesn't matter who we play it against.
It's the personnel, it's the coaching. That's why it's the
best.
Yeah,
it just works. They could do that. They're going to do that during the Super Bowl. It's a guarantee. They're going to do it, and it's going to work. So, but with the Bills, Josh Allen likes to do a similar thing on a QB sneak, but he likes to run to the left and kind of curl in between the center and the left guard to kind of push his way in. The Chiefs knew that, and they blocked that instantly. Maybe if he went to the right, maybe it would have been a little different story, but I'm getting at is the Chiefs are such a well-prepared team with Andy Reid. We saw it the last Super Bowl when they were the only ones that knew about that overtime rule. They are very prepared. I guarantee you they studied on Josh Allen's goal line plays, and they're like, he likes to run to the left. So in this situation, go block the left, and that's what happened. You got to beat the Chiefs by doing things a little differently than you normally do. You got to keep them on your toes. You got to have a good game plan. This was a great game. Josh Allen didn't really make any mistakes. He had a couple scores. Like you said, it's just a matter of whether you agree with the officiating or not. Not saying it was perfect. Definitely some questionable calls, but you can't. It's like baseball. You can't leave it in the hands of the umpire if you're going to take a 3-2 count down the middle, or just you're going to take the 3-2 count swing in, or whatever you're going to do. You got to not leave it in the hands of the officials.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. And this is what happened. They lost 32-29. Another year of 0-4 Josh Allen against the Chiefs. And don't get me wrong. Listen, even though I'm a Jets fan, I don't want the Bills or the Miami or the New England to win at all. There was a part of me that was hoping that they were going to pull it out, because I also don't want to see the Chiefs do it again. But I have a lot of confidence in this Phillies team. So I was okay with whoever was really going in. But, I mean, yeah, there's no other way to put it. I mean, the Chiefs were prepared. The Bills were prepared. It was just the Chiefs at the end of the day just got it done. Sometimes that home field advantage is all it takes. Another classic showdown between these two quarterbacks. These two quarterbacks probably put up some of the best football that you're going to see in January against each other. I mean, I love watching it. You always know it's going to be a good game. Never disappoints. We just unfortunately have a third straight. I believe it's 3 straight Chief playoff Super Bowl berths. I don't know if it was 4 or 3, but I know it's 3 at least.
3, 4 in the last 5 years. Or no, 5 in the last 6 years.
So the Bills go home, and Phillies and Chiefs, and I'm excited for that game. I have a lot of confidence in this Phillies team. I think their game plan is going to be to stop Saquon's the rushing attack. I just don't think you can. Even if you keep him under 130 yards, he's still going to get you probably around 130. It's just you just can't stop him this year. I mean, he scored like 2+ touchdowns like every single playoff game, pretty much. I'm pretty sure he had 2 last week. I'm pretty sure he had 2 the week before. He's got probably 5, 6, 7 touchdowns in 3 games. He's just on fire. I just don't think they're going to stop that. They're not going to stop the brotherly shove. Jalen Hurts, if he's not going to throw for 230 yards, he's probably going to run for 50, 60 yards or something like that, get a couple on the ground. This is just such a dynamic offense. And it's just a rare combination of a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. I mean, you probably are looking at the best defense in the league, in my opinion. And probably definitely the best rushing offense in the league. This is just, this might be the most stacked Philly team that I can remember seeing. And this isn't the same Eagles team that played them earlier in the, a couple years ago. This is a much better team. And I would say this is a Chiefs team that has gotten weaker since that Super Bowl in offense. If you compare this Chiefs team to the Chiefs team when they played the Eagles the first time, I think this isn't a better offense. I think that this realistically the Eagles
better receivers.
Yeah, better.
I think in terms of the name, better receivers in terms of the name. I mean, Hopkins
better
has
receivers,
yeah.
Papa John's, But no, realistically, this is a defense of the Phillies that should be able to keep at least this game either in check or close, and that this is an offensive Phillies that should be able to run away with it, literally run away with it at the end of the day. It's going to be close. It's probably going to be a one possession game. I'm excited, but I think the Phillies squeaks it out and gets their second Super Bowl title in the last 6 years.
And as Jared said last week when he mentioned about the Bills and what their game plan is or was against Kansas City, same thing for the Eagles, right? Right, boss? It's just stick to the run game, do what you do best.
Don't play their game, play your game.
Play your game. Damn right.
I mean, when you have a game plan that literally no team has stopped it, like why switch it up?
Cleveland did.
Where are they now?
Cleveland stopped it.
But
Saquon only ran for 60 yards.
You know what's crazy? You said 60 yards for an average running back. That's a good day.
How many
the best running back in football only ran for half his average.
God, Brees Hall had so many under 40-yard games too, man. 60 yards.
That's just on your head coach.
Yeah.
Speaking of new head coaches.
Yeah, what an interesting.
I guess people are retiring to Vegas now.
So he has it's a 3-year deal, and I believe the third year is a team option. He is 73 years old.
So for those of you not watching live or on YouTube, we are referring to one Mr. Pete Carroll, former coach of the Seattle Seahawks and the USC Trojans. For that in mind, he was still old coaching the Trojans in 2004 when I was in elementary school.
He was the Jets head coach when I was born.
I was 4.
Yeah.
When I was born, he was the Jets head coach. And then I believe by the time Nate was born, he was the Patriots head coach.
No, he was USC.
Oh, Nate.
2000, I think he put 2000, 2001, he took over.
What a guy. 73 years old, gets a 3-year deal.
Hey, you know what, man? Maybe they're grooming another guy in the wings. They want him kind of right.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, he's old. He's 73, but he's not like
he's a spry 73.
He's not that kind of coach you got to worry about having like cholesterol issues or heart problems. Like he's not a screamer. He's not a yeller.
He might have like a broken jaw from chewing the amount of gum he chews, but that's about it.
Man, dude, over or under 4.5 packs a game, man. I don't know.
He's worse than me with the CBD dip while I'm playing like wiffle ball. You saw me go through a 10.5 that tournament.
He definitely he definitely packed some serious lips back in the day, and this is his his addiction.
His wife is like, no gum cancer for you. You're chewing gum.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it. Listen, I would love to see them get Vrabel or Ben Johnson, but what are you gonna do?
I think when they knew the Jets were going to get Glenn, when Johnson decided to go steer away and go to Chicago, when they lost out on Vrabel, they were probably looking at their options. Maybe they weren't impressed with Liam Cohen, or they weren't impressed with maybe Brian Flores or whoever else they interviewed that was available. So, I mean, hey, I don't dislike this. Pete Carroll only took a year off from coaching. It's not like he had a sizable gap. It's not like John Gruden, who was out the game for a long time and then just kind of stepped back in right away. But this is an experienced coach that had a lot of success with his time in Seattle, who went to 2 Super Bowls, has a Super Bowl title under his belt. He knows what it takes to win. He's a winning coach. He has a great record with Seattle in the regular season, the playoffs. Like I said, Super Bowl title. So they got a veteran presence, and I think that's something that the Raiders could use. I actually like this because this is not a typical Raiders hire. This is actually kind of like a smart balanced hire. And
like,
that's not.
This is what I think what's throwing me off. I'm expecting like some no-name OC from like the University of Tennessee or something. Oh, wait,
no, Jared. You're talking about the wrong team now. A team that would do that, you know who I'm talking about.
Dude, the Saints might get Mike Kafka.
Oh, yes, please. Oh, sorry.
Who hasn't called plays?
Is it bad? I'm almost kind of happy. Mr. Kellen Moore didn't get a job offer.
You're happy?
I don't know, because he called a perfect game on Sunday. He did.
Hey, if he does it again, you'll love him forever.
Oh, by the way, Jalen Hurts makes his biggest jumps when he keeps a coordinator for more than a year. Shane Steichen from 2021 to 2022. We saw Hurts' biggest jump. A full off season with that dorky dude, he might be MVP quarterback again. We don't know. He had to do with Brian Johnson's dumbass for a year. That was awful. Oh my Lord, that offense was awful. I think him and Nick Sirianni did rock, paper, scissors for what play to run. All right. All verts, halfback screen, tunnel screen, halfback dive. All right, perfect. That's our offense. Jeez, it was like me playing Madden when I'm hammered.
Coach suggestions.
Dude, no, not even, because Coach suggestions has like slants, drag routes, things that Hurts is like very good at. Even though, by the way, I think he's the highest rated deep ball passer since week 4 of the NFL season this year. I saw that stat.
Would you look at that for a guy who doesn't throw that much?
No, what he does, he just hits deep balls to AJ or Devontae or Jahan or Dallas. Doesn't matter. He hits the throws, but he's smart enough to realize, hey, brother, you don't got to throw it 40 times a game. Yeah. Brady figured that out his entire damn career, but nobody remembers that. I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying. That's a sign of maturity, realizing you don't have to throw your ball way out of a game every time.
Damn right.
I think are the Saints the only team left without a head coach that have a vacancy?
That is correct. They're the only team they were waiting on because some team also felt their vacancy.
I think they're trying to see if I think Kellen Moore is their guy, but I don't know if he wants to go back now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'd wait. I'd wait.
Oh man, I loved when the Eagles it was a definite like the 100% they're winning this game. They started panning to all the coaches, and they kept panning to Kellen Moore's doofus little face.
Dude, he was so happy yesterday. I'm like, good
he
for
had
you,
the beanie on, and he was like, bro, I love his face. It's so funny.
Oh.
Anyways, what's a name, a non-attractive name that would be 20,000 times better than the Saints, let's say, sticking with Darren Rizzi or going with Mike Kafka or whoever the heck they're gonna hire, because at this point they're getting the scraps, and I don't know if it's gonna work. A former failed head coach that turned into an amazing defensive coordinator. I would not be upset with Steve Spagnuolo being the next Saints head coach.
Spags.
I mean, look at Quinn. He had success with Atlanta, brought him to the Super Bowl, had down years after that. Got fired, went to Dallas, whipped that defense into shape, and then he just first year with the Commanders going to the NFC Championship. It's not impossible to take a first-time bad head coach, went back to being a great coordinator, and then figured it out. Maybe not terrible. I think Steve Spagnuolo is 1,000 times better than Mike Kafka as a head coach candidate. No offense, Nate.
Now, don't talk bad about Kafka now.
Oh, you mean former Eagles backup Mike Kafka?
Yeah, see, he's not that bad. By the way,
no, he's terrible.
If they take him away.
Yeah, Nate's like, it costs more to fire him than it does to let him walk. We get a draft pick if he walks.
Yeah, damn right.
So
Saints are weird though. They're a weird team. They haven't gone for the big names, If they're waiting on Kellen Moore,
because they're dude, until like Demario Davis and Cam Jordan retire, they're in cap hell. Every year they have to do all this creative accounting, and they barely win games.
Yeah, they're in debt. They're terrible.
They're literally the country of Greece as a football team.
It's probably why Sean Payton decided to retire and just waited for a team to get his rights.
He's like, dude, I'm not trying to fix this. No. We had our shot with Breeze. Once Breeze was gone, he knew it was over.
And apparently, I don't remember where I saw this, so I got to look it up, or unless Nate wants to find it quick. But apparently, a big reasoning as to why Aaron Glenn wasn't interested in going to the Saints was because he wanted them to go in a different direction at general manager, get rid of Mickey Loomis, and they weren't interested in doing that. So he full forcibly had his sights on the Jets.
Been there for a long time.
Yeah, but listen, if you can't get
15 years for Mickey Loomis as GM?
Probably, but you know what? In the last 3 years, they've been in cap hell. And
I think he came in the same year as Sean Payton.
Yeah, he's been there for a while, I think. They got to get that money.
I know who is it? The Bensons they own the Saints?
I'm not sure. You can only hide behind the fact that you have a weak division for so long until the rest of the teams figure it out and you're falling behind the Panthers.
Time's up.
Yeah.
Falcons are going to be a 10-win team next year. Panthers probably 9-10 win team. Bucks will be an 11-win team. Like, dude, that might be the best division of football next year.
Yeah, apparently when the Saints interviewed Glenn, he asked for a new GM to be hired to work with, and this team said no.
How long has Mickey Loomis been there? It's got to be, 2008, right?
Been a minute, right?
Yeah, 2006, 2008, somewhere in that range. But, yeah, dude, Saints have a problem. They are literally going to be a mediocre franchise. They're the new Raiders. Mediocre at best, bad at worst.
Oh, isn't that funny? They have Derek Carr as the quarterback.
You mean my chemical quarterback?
Yeah.
He said he didn't want to take a pay cut.
He's gonna get cut.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. So
Whoa.
scary. He doesn't want to take a pay cut. And he's not.
It's okay. Dude, that's like the best thing in the world to do. You know why? Because then you get traded to a team that actually wants you.
Ah, like who?
I don't know. Reuniting in Las Vegas, we could see him go to like a team. Who's down at quarterback this year? I don't know. Go play for his brother's former team up in the Meadowlands.
I wouldn't be.
Hell no.
Honestly, dude, he wouldn't be a bad fit for you guys if you guys don't have a quarterback in the draft you like.
I would love a guy that throws for 240 and two picks.
Listen. Let's say you draft Jackson Dart in the second round, or Quinn Ewers. Go get Derek Carr to play for a year. You win 8 games. You get a better Malik Neighbors. You get better players in the because Derek Carr you can get for cheap. Honestly, you're gonna probably have to pay him half his salary, 3/4 of it. And on top,
greedy.
Maybe you have to trade a 4th round, 3rd round pick for him, or you see if you can get Russell Wilson, who was supposed to go to the Giants like 7 years ago anyway. So
I don't hate the idea of him being a stopgap option for the Jets too. If Rodgers decides to retire, they just want to move on from him.
Right.
I don't hate the idea of him playing a year in New York with that offense.
All right, Matt, let me ask you this. Odds you think Rodgers retires? I think it's 50-50. I think it literally is coming down to a win.
I think that's fair. I don't want to say 50-50 because it's such an easy cop-out thing. I would say there's a 55% chance that he plays I'd say there's a 45% chance he retires. Yeah. I think there's more of a percentage that he probably wants to play. Knowing Rodgers, just where his mental attitude and everything is, I think he's pretty stubborn to where I don't think he wants to go out the way he went out. I think he wants to have one more at least decent season of being like, I still got it. I'm riding off to the sunset. So I think at the end of the day, because he is a dramatic guy, I think he's going to want to play.
Yeah, I think he'll wait. I think maybe he'll announce on the McAfee show if he's coming back or something. But
I think Glenn's going to be like, listen, you need to tell us first. We're not finding out because of a TV show on a Tuesday.
Netflix.
Dude. Wow. Want to talk about greatest hires or greatest intro conferences? Jerry Jones talking about Brian Schottenheimer. Holy smokes, he was getting aggressive in that press conference.
They shot themselves in the foot with that hire. Made it worse with Eberflus.
I think, here's my honest to God opinion. When Jerry realized he wasn't getting Dion or Kellen back, he was like, crap. So he then goes, we're going to be terrible this year, or at best an 8-win team. If we tank and just start over, trade CD to like the Raiders or the freaking Seahawks or something, trade Dak to maybe, I don't know, the Giants or the Jets, teams that need a quarterback and don't want to wait 2 years to develop him. Let Micah walk in free agency. DeMarcus Lawrence, and let your cap die. Next year, who comes out in the draft possibly?
Archie.
This is totally what the Texans did with David Culley. It's the same damn move. They realized they couldn't do what they wanted to do. They didn't have their guy. So the Cowboys, this is my theory, are literally blowing the ships up. They are saying, nope, we're going to tank for this year. I have a feeling Dak Prescott gets moved in the offseason. I think CD stays. I think, honestly, Jerry will want to keep CD. I think they're going to keep Cooper Rush and Trey Lance. They're going to say Trey Lance is the future. They're going to be awful because we saw how bad they were. Kenny Pickett and Tanner McKee belt the ass when they played them.
Ooh.
And they're a 4-win team. A 4-win team is a very good shot at getting a top 5 pick. Top 5 is a lot easier to move up to 1 or 2. I'm telling you right now, even if it's not Quinn Ewers, there's 3 other good quarterbacks coming out of that year.
So Gerard Mayo part 2, to a lesser extent, because this might last longer.
A smarter way of the Patriots bumbled the hell out of it. They drafted
Quinn Ewers declared this year.
What?
Quinn Ewers declared, I'm pretty sure.
No, sorry. I meant Archie Manning.
Oh, okay. Wouldn't it be typical Cowboys if
this who else is coming out? I think isn't Riolo coming out next year, and so is
Patty Mahomes Jr. Yeah,
I thought he was a freshman.
Sorry. So he has 2 more years, but Carson Beck comes out. I think Carson Beck in Miami's system could make him a better quarterback.
Nussmeier,
Miller Moss,
Aller. Matt said Aller.
Man, Atler, a developed Atler, hopefully.
TVD.
What?
TVD.
Tyler Van Doofus? You mean a career XFL quarterback? Yeah.
Was Will Howard declare?
Yeah, he's coming out this year.
All right, he's a senior.
What class is
I like Will Howard going to the Giants. He's kind of a better version of Daniel Jones.
You know who I really like? Kyle McCord. If we don't get, who I really want,
Dylan G.
McCord to me is Jimmy G. He's a better Jimmy G.
That's fine with me.
I'm telling you, he's gonna fall. He's gonna be a 5th or 6th round pick. Somebody's gonna nab him. Nah, he's not going higher. You know the problem is everyone's going, it's the ACC. Nobody covers in the ACC. But
the Jets being at 7, they're not going to take any. They're not going to get Sanders Award. Do you think they're better off developing Jordan Travis another year, or do you think they got to go for like a Quinn Ewers at 2nd, 3rd round, or
2nd round? Go get a quarterback. Go get Dart, Ewers, Will Howard, hell, even Kyle McCord. Go get somebody in the later rounds. Go get
Milroe.
No.
Not even at 7.
Milroe shouldn't be drafted before 33.
No,
I don't know.
Okay, listen.
Combine,
Let me straight up with you. He's not a better prospect than Hurts. He's not a better prospect than Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I never said that for sure.
Yeah. So why would you these teams are not stupid?
Because this might be and you can correct me.
Last year was different, where Bo Nix was a projected 1st rounder. So was Michael Penix. Both played pretty good. Penix in limited time, Bo Nix for the entire season. I'm telling you right now, teams are not going to overpay this year. They're going to try.
I just feel like it might be like a Anthony Richardson part 2 type thing, where you kind of reach for a guy.
Combine. We'll know at the combine. But look at the problem is. Look at Anthony Richardson now. Well, the Colts feel stupid.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. Teams do learn. Takes them a while, but they learn. So I have a feeling we're only going to have 2 quarterbacks go in the 1st round. Shador and we may have one on the back end. I feel like it's going to be like Shador or Cam Ward, depending on who trades up or trades down, goes number 1 or 2 or 3. And that's it. It's going to be a run on of defensive backs and edge rushers, wide receivers, running backs. I think we're going to have 3 running backs throughout the 1st round this year.
Who? Gianti and who else?
Genti, Ollie Gordon, and I'd say the kid out of Junkins. I think Ollie Gordon's going to blow people away at the combine. He's going to flap the draft board.
He had a down year. Okay.
Yeah, because I think Mike Gundy is I think his brain fell out of its socket.
111.
Genti has Cowboys written all over him.
So bad.
No, Matt, what they're going to do is he's going to be on the board, right?
And then they're going to take Ollie Gordon. Or they're going to take
or a defensive lineman, because we're trying to beef up.
Yeah.
Listen, they're going to keep trying to imitate Philadelphia, but they have the wrong parts of the engine. All right.
It's the last thing I'm going to say, 5 seconds. I agree with what you're saying. This is definitely a Cowboys move right here. This does feel like they're trying to tank for a better quarterback next year. To elevate your offensive coordinator as the head coach who didn't call plays last year. Eberflus isn't a bad defensive coordinator. The best his defense has been was ranked 9th with the Colts, and other than that, it went anywhere from 13th to 17th and higher. This would be a very big Cowboys thing if this actually did work out, which probably what Jerry Jones doesn't really probably want to happen because he probably wants Manning. But if you're going to trade Dak, the only way I think you get anything higher than a 4th or 3rd round pick is you got to eat like 80% of that salary. If you're not going to eat any of that salary, you're probably going to get like a 6th round pick.
I'd say
5th.
No, I think they'd only have to eat about 40%. Get him down around league average, like $20 million a year.
Because he's getting
contract
now.
I know. So maybe 30. They could probably get away with 30.
If a team's going to pay him $40 million a year and the Cowboys will pick up 20 of that 60, then you could probably.
It depends on where he's going. Like we got to think of teams that just can't get a quarterback right. So New Orleans is one of them.
Me.
Yeah, Jets or Giants.
Oh God, I gotta pay him that much money.
You could throw in maybe the Colts have had enough and they try to swap A-Rich. I don't know. I'm throwing out crazy stuff right now.
No matter what we or anybody will say about Dak, he is a 5,000-yard passer. He does know how to throw a bunch of touchdowns.
Maybe the Titans do a quick swap-a-roo for the number 1 pick.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Well, yeah, we'll see.
Trade back to like 7. They get Dak, and they get then they go get a receiver. They go get a lineman.
Or Shador.
Go get Shador. Yeah, and then maybe then Cleveland trades out with like Las Vegas, and Vegas gets Ward. Like there's a lot of weird stuff that can happen.
I can't wait to see Kelsey's reaction to all of this if this were to happen.
He'd be like, "We're getting Shador Sanders." I mean, he's a Colorado hater, so I mean, it should be interesting. All right.
Dable loves him though. He said the handshake. It was so clean. I was like, man, made me so happy.
Why am I okay? So I have a weird feeling the Giants could try to talk with the Titans to trade up to 1 and go get Shador.
Just confirm it, yeah. Just to make sure, like we're
actually. They're like, listen, we don't know what Cleveland's doing. Nobody knows what Cleveland's doing because now Deshaun Watson's out for another year. Are they going to go take like Milroe at 2? Or are they going to trade back or take Hunter? We don't know. Cleveland is the wild card here. Cleveland could take Cam Ward or Shador for all we know. We don't know. They have so much money committed to a quarterback. The only thing they could do is draft a rookie, but it's weird. But we'll obviously cover that more. The offseason obviously is going to be very interesting. With the 3 of us, we're going to have more interviews, bring more people on the show. No, we're only taking, I think, 1 show off. We're going to take the Thursday after the Super Bowl off, give everyone a long weekend, back that Monday, ready to rock and roll, starting season 13. But, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up for today. Shout out to our sponsors, Righteous Felon, Beef Jerky, promo code BELLYUP for 15% off at checkout. Canada CBD, promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off your personal checkout. And SeatGeek, promo code BELLYUPSports for $20 off your first initial purchase. I am Jared. That's Nate. That's Matt. We will see you guys on Thursday for the Korner Booth. Actually, no, we won't. We'll see you next Monday. Unless there's some breaking news. So keep an eye on our Twitter. X, our Instagram, or TikTok. We will announce if we're doing a show. If you don't hear from us, besides clips, there's no show Thursday. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have an amazing week. We'll see you next Monday. Check out our YouTube channel, obviously, Korner Booth Pod. This episode, if you enjoyed it, you got here late. The recorded episode, edited obviously from me and Matt's dirty mouth, will be uploaded to Belly Up's YouTube probably within the next couple hours. And we will see you guys next week. Have a good week. Go Birds.
Fly Eagles fly for 2 weeks.
Why did you say it like that? Fly Eagles fly.
Fly.